What's going on, everybody? We're definitely going to go ahead and get started in just a few moments as we get ready to preview this game with the Washington Commanders coming up this Sunday. We're definitely going to talk about the second half woes continuing and why these woes. We are definitely going to have some fun. So, y'all come on in. We're going to get started in less than 60 seconds.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody?
What's going on, Titan Nation? Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to a new edition of TNT Tonight, Titans and Truth in the house. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, a.k.a. The Truth, and we're definitely excited to bring this show on this evening. Definitely, while y'all are here, everybody coming on in, make sure for everybody that shows up in here, give this show a like. Go ahead and like this show, smash that like button, and then also, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the channel, and also ring that bell so that you select all, and then that way you get all the notifications of all the shows that are coming out. Actually, there is a Truth League report reviewing week 4 rather, that just happened. I was a little late getting it out, but I did go ahead and get that out. So that's going on. And then, of course, tonight's show, we're definitely going to talk about the Washington Commanders in more detail as we get ready for this upcoming game, because this is definitely an important game, even though it is Washington, and I know they're struggling right now. This team cannot be underestimated. Do not underestimate this team. Do not underestimate the Commanders, because they could sneak up on you, and they could definitely do some damage. So definitely shout out to everybody that's watching the show and everything. Um, I hope everybody's having a good day, and we are going to get the show going. So, um, first off, of course, gotta put the score up one more time. Of course, us beating the Colts 24-17, and I don't know if any of you watched the post game and everything, but we definitely got into some things talking about some of the good, some of the bad, and some of the awful that definitely happened. So I know there's quite a bit there. Of course, we were talking about how they started off well in the first half, and and then of course the second half woes again showing up, and that is an issue that needs to be corrected, and needs to be corrected right now. I see Titan Fox. We got AZ Mick. We got Miss Jacqueline. And also, I'm going to make an announcement. We're supposed to be ladies' night tonight. We're supposed to have some guests coming on. But right now, some things kind of didn't work out scheduling wise. We are going to postpone ladies' night till later on this month. And we will still do that. And we will still have a ladies' night. So that is not that is still going to happen. It's just going to be pushed back just a little bit, and we will definitely still make that happen. So definitely stay tuned for that, and we will definitely get into those stories about those amazing women who have survived breast cancer or any other cancers that have happened. I see Marcellus is in here. Shane is in here. Happy birthday, by the way, Shane. Titan Fox says, I'm hyped about the Commanders. We got Vibe Runners in here. We got 615 up in here. Oh, you got Tyler Rowland. I tried to reach out to him. I couldn't get him and everything. So couldn't get him yet, but maybe that's something I have to work on. Ty Fox said, yep, the Jets were struggling. They snuck up on us. Can't rest on our laurels. Fire away like it's 4th of July. And I definitely agree with that. You can't just sit and think that this is going to be a walk in the park victory just because it's the Commanders. This team, they can still play some ball and they can still sneak up on you if you're not careful and not, up to snub yourself, and you find yourself in the loss column. So, you better be ready to play when you face off against any team, in this day and age. So definitely appreciate everybody tuning in, but we're going to get this show on the road. So let's go ahead and close out. Let's close the book on the Indianapolis Colts. Of course, we improved to 2-2 with the 24-17 victory. Definitely should discuss. I'm quickly put up the good, the bad, and the awful that I had from the post game. The good being, of course, that they were able to have success again offensively. The run defense was incredible, and Tier Tart's big interception. I thought those were great things that did happen. Now, of course, the bad, you had some issues across the middle in pass coverage, which was not very good at all, and that's something that they definitely need to fix. And also that last drive of the first quarter of the first half was not great either, and the Burks injury definitely put a bad somber on things as well. And then, of course, the god-awful. The god-awful being something that we're going to talk about in just a little bit. Those second half woes rearing its ugly head yet again. And that's something that they got to fix that. They have got to fix this problem, and they need to fix this problem very, very quickly, very, very soon, and get their act together on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. They need to get it together. So, y'all forgive me. I'm trying to share the show out with everybody so that way everybody can come on in here and tune in. But again, the Titans have got to get out of their own way in the second half. Get out of their own way and figure out how to put some points on the board, because when you're being outscored 64-7 in the second half, that's just awful. That is pathetic. That is not indicative of what this Titan team should be, and they're better than that. We know they're better than that, and that's something that they definitely need to show. And so they got work to do, definitely on both sides of the ball. And and we got to get into these second half woes because I honestly don't know what they could do to solve this problem. I think one thing that they're going to have to do is they're going to have to figure out ways to finish drives. They're going to have to figure out ways to score more and be able to not have all the struggles that they don't have in the first half. I just don't. I mean, that's something that needs to be taken care of. 615 says combat the commander. Shane says Pop Tart, and that is definitely true. Wide receiving core is going to be limited. That's true. And 615, that is something I looked at. I saw that Andy Isabella made it through waivers. He could be somebody the Titans might want to take a look at. Shane says if it was 64-10 in the second half, we'd be 3-10 right now. And even at 3-10, I mean at 3-1, this is still a problem that would need to be addressed. And Vibes is right. Last year was the other way around. Last year we couldn't do much in the first half. We were a second half football team, and that is something that, I mean, it's a complete 180, and that's something that I just don't seem to understand. Philomatic says, I would add Vrabel's nonchalant response to TD's question about the second half offensive performance. To your ugly man, TD is better. TD is a better man than me because I would have fired off on Vrabel. I mean, look, shout out to TD. TD, I appreciate the fact that he put that question to Vrabel, and Vrabel just didn't like the fact that he got called out for that. TD kept it real. And that's something that I always appreciate is the fact that TD keeps it 100. TD doesn't shy away or is afraid to go at the coaches a little bit trying to get some information. And that's something that do that. Teresa does that as well. Teresa definitely does that and everything. So I definitely do appreciate that they bring that up. But I mean, these second half woes have got to stop. It's like they've forgotten how to play football. They don't do nothing on the first drive. And I mean, they get the ball to start the second half. They start off with a run to Derrick Henry, a penalty, a sack. They're in 3rd and long, and they have to punt the football. And then the Colts just march right down the field and score on their first drive and made it 24-17. And a lot of people are saying this, and I agree with it. They're lucky they're playing sorry teams right now. And they're getting away with it. You heard Derrick Henry at the end of the game, go into that and was talking about it. And, he said himself he wasn't happy about the end result. He wasn't happy about it because, he basically said, he was pissed off that they couldn't put a drive together in the second half because he figures, hey, he's like, hey, if, it's going to catch up to us eventually. We got to put a drive together. We got to put points together and everything. So if you don't do that, it's going to catch up to you eventually. And you're playing some bad teams right now, with the Giants, even though somehow they're 3-1, which I have to admit is impressive. And, the Raiders were a 2-point conversion away from possibly taking you down. And then the Colts, nearly came back. And yeah, we're playing Washington this week. And, they're not that good of a team, but you still got to be careful. But if you do this against teams that coming up that you got to deal with. Later in the schedule, teams like Kansas City, teams like Green Bay, teams like the LA Chargers, or dare I even say the Jacksonville Jaguars. You do this against those teams in the second half, you're going to lose. And that's plain and simple. You can't play. This is a dangerous game of Russian roulette that the Tennessee Titans are playing. And if you don't get this second half stuff fixed, you're going to be on the end of some losses that will be absolutely inexcusable. And that's just the honest truth. They need to fix that. But Vrabel, of course, just shrugged it off like it was nothing. Like, hey, we won. 24-17. Just celebrate the fact that we won. Let's celebrate that we won. But Derek said it in the breakdown in the locker room. We ain't satisfied. So why is Vrabel acting like he's all satisfied with everything that's happening? I don't really like that. I mean, arrogance, nonchalant, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that at all. And so Vrabel needs to get his head out of his ass. He really does. Get his head out of his ass and actually fix this problem. If Downing's the issue, take away the play calling duties from him. Give it to Tim Kelly. Because we're getting sick and tired of having these games where we don't score anything in the second half. We have been shut out in the second half 3 weeks straight. The only time we scored a touchdown in the second half was the first game of the year. And that's when we got behind. Other than that, we haven't scored a thing in the second half. And that's just unacceptable. I don't know who called the plays of the first half. First half was great. Second half sucked. TD didn't have to say anything. Vrabel's response told it all. That's true. Again, Vrabel's arrogance has reared its ugly head. He thinks he knows everything, and that pisses me off. And while you're in your mind thinking about who is your star of the week and dunce of the day, Vrabel can definitely be a nominee. Because I said it before and I'll say it again. If it's one or two players that's not doing well, it's probably that player. That player needs to get better. That player needs to step up. But if the entire unit is struggling, it's not completely out on the players anymore. Then you got to really think, okay, there's a coaching problem. There's some type of coaching issue that we need to straighten out. And I don't know if Vrabel gets that. I think Vrabel is like, hey, we're winning. We're great. We don't need to fix anything. Just like, and another thing, of course, that happened that we're going to have to, definitely address is Burks. He's dealing with a turf toe injury. He's going to be out multiple weeks. We do not know how many because Vrabel, they're not going to tell us nothing about injuries. We don't know how long Burks is going to be out. Burks could be out a couple of weeks. Burks could be out the next month and a half. We won't know because Vrabel won't tell us. And so I just, I don't know if it's the play calling, if it's the personnel groupings. I don't know if Tannehill doesn't have the all clear to audible if necessary. But I mean, that last play that got him the first down to end the game, good play call. And so, they're going to have to do something about that. I mean, they really are. 615, yep, smash that like button. D09, what's going on? Y'all go check out 615 podcast later on as well after everything is done. Dion says, I'm scared about our team. We don't have enough talent. And again, when you don't have enough talent, you see teams that may not have all the talent in the world still win because they have good coaching. So Vrabel needs to earn his paycheck and be a better coach. Todd Downing needs to be a better coach. Shane Bowen in the second half needs to be a better coach. And Ms. Mims is right. You can't go to sleep on them because they will sneak up on you. Bruce James, what's up with you, sir? And everything. Definitely, I saw that super chat on the post game. Definitely appreciate that. Super chats, of course, are definitely appreciated. Like you said, and Rob's is right. Henry said it. Been able to skate away these last few games, but it's going to catch up to you. Talking about do not speak to the media about the second half. I mean, I'm glad they asked Derrick Henry about that before he got to the locker room. Because he got to say what he really felt, and he didn't have to do no coach speak. And Jacqueline is right. Other teams are taking note of our schemes in the first half, and they're making adjustments, and we're not. And that's the thing. And I've said this too. You know that going into the half, a team is going to make adjustments. So you have to make adjustments to the adjustment. You got to be a step ahead, and you got to make adjustments from half to half, quarter to quarter, series to series, play to play. You got to make adjustments because sometimes what works before will not work again. So, and Philip is right. Yes, we are a Matt Barkley field goal. We're a fat Randy Bullock field goal away from being 3-1. But we are also a 2-point conversion. We are also a 2-point conversion and a kicked field goal, and maybe not and maybe maybe Matt Ryan going down the field away. We could have been 0-4. Now I'm glad we're not. But yeah, that could easily be the case. And so we're gonna keep moving on. But I mean, those things have got to be fixed. And the good news is, of course, Monty Rice designated to return. I believe another player got promoted to the 53-man roster. Got promoted to the 53-man roster as well. I could not pronounce his name. Sam O, I believe, is a defensive lineman that got pulled up. To the main roster. I can't even say his whole name, and I'm not going to. Atlanta says it's all good that we're winning. What happens when we're not? Then that's going to be the issue. And that's good that we talk about this. I mean, a lot of times in losses, you try to find good things. In victories, you try to find bad things. And, Ty Fox said, love the coach, don't get me wrong, but don't love his approach. I agree. Shane said, getting Molden back will be huge for the defense. And right now, Elijah Molden and Racy McMath are not designated to return just yet. Vrabel basically saying he's not ready. So that's something that's going to have to be worked on. And obviously, Faith Wall, Miss Kelly, how you doing? Thank you for watching. I know your Packers got a win Your Packers got to win. I talked about that too. So for you, go Pack, go. Like I said, everybody, she will be, hopefully, we'll be able to work that out to where she gets to come on the show. Shout out to all the cancer survivors out there that, have beaten cancer. And shout out to Miss Wade. Miss Wade, hopefully, I get to see you, if you're here in Memphis, see you on Saturday at the big alumni party. So maybe I'll get to see you then. The defense is definitely stepping up. The defense is definitely stepping up. Isaiah Garris, what's going on? Let's see. Okay, early pick my brain question. What would you like to see differently in the second half on both sides of the ball? One, offense finishing drives and scoring, and defense, get some more pressure on a quarterback, and let's get a couple more turnovers. Even though we did do a good job of causing turnovers, I believe we got a couple of fumbles from Matt Ryan and from Jonathan Taylor, and you could do the same thing to Carson Wentz, but I just need to see this offense finish. And the secondary has some growing up to do as well. So that's something that I think can definitely be done. And if I know I haven't gotten to everybody's comments, I apologize. I'm definitely trying to keep the show going. Reggie, what's up with you, sir? Of course, says go Pack, go. Yeah, we'll definitely later on this season. I might get with you when Titans play the Packers on Thursday night. I might have to talk to you on that one. But hate that Burks is being out. Monty Rice coming back, and everything. And we got to see how he performed, because Joe Schobert and Dylan Cole did some good things. The run defense again was outstanding. Let's not take that away. The run defense was great. The pass defense was suspect, and we acted like we were afraid to tackle. And I know there's a lot of people that want to talk down about Caleb Farley, and it's like, Caleb Farley sucks. Caleb Farley sucks. Again, and I think this is something that some of the media, and I ain't saying all, but some of the media is just not thinking about either. Caleb Farley has not played. Has not played at all. If I look up, I'm trying to see if I can look up Caleb Farley's career stats from college to the NFL as well. Like, I'm trying to see if I can find everything. So I'm trying to see. In his career, in so far a season and a half, he's only played 7 games. He's only played 7 games in 2 years. 7. And I think that's the thing that people are not understanding and remembering, is that, Caleb Farley, is definitely got, he definitely has to, he needs to step it up, and get better. But also, he hasn't played at all. And he's got, he's got to play a little bit more. And I'm trying to see if I can get his college stats. So give me a minute, y'all. I'm trying to pull that up. Trying to see if I can pull up his college stats. Let's see. So, he only played 3 games last season before he tore his ACL and was out for the year. And then, so far he's played in 4 games this year. And Shane, I thank you for the super chat. Run the ball to the right side. If we have a 14-point lead in the second half, let Derrick Henry eat. Got to give him more carry. Now, we can't sit on that, but yes. I mean, if you get that, then you gotta punch him while you got a shot. So here's the thing with Caleb Farley. As a freshman, he played 13 games. Played 13 games, had 2 picks as a freshman. And remember, he was converted from a wide receiver to a corner. Played 13 games, had 2 picks. Played 10 games in 2019, missed a couple of games because I believe he had those knee injuries. I believe he might have torn an ACL in college. So he played 23 games in 2 years at Virginia Tech. Then sat out the COVID year. So he didn't get a third year to improve his stock because he sat out, which he probably should have played, but he was nursing injuries, trying not to mess up his draft stock. And he was still dealing with injuries. And now he's only played 7 games this year. The guy needs reps. And that's the only way you will get better is with reps. He's got to learn. And that's the only way that you're going to learn. CJ said, what player would you pull any players for free agency or what position? I mean, free agency is probably not a good crop of guys out there. I would definitely say they need to look at wide receiver. They need to bring in a wide receiver. Maybe see if there's maybe a decent corner, somebody way better than Terrence Mitchell. And I see we're going into pick my brain a little early, so I guess we'll go ahead into that. Time Fox says, but I would go definitely wide receiver is one position I would look at. And TD mentioned this some weeks back, looking at Andre Dillard in Philadelphia. Either trade for him before the trade deadline or definitely look at him in the offseason and free agency. I would probably take a swing at that. Time Fox says, if you were head coach, what would you do to address the problems in the defensive backfield? Well, I mean, if Amani Hooker comes back from concussion protocol, that will definitely help. And he was limited today. So I would say that's part of it. Another part, I would say we got to get some bodies back. I mean, I think Ugo Amadi, get Elijah Molden. I think that's going to help a little bit. And, I mean, we got to get some guys back. I think it's definitely that as far as the defensive backfield and not play so far off the ball. I don't like the fact that they do that sometimes. And, I mean, I think they have got to, play up, be aggressive. So that's what I would do. Get Molden back, get Ugo Amadi back. Definitely get those guys back, and that could definitely help. DO9 says, I was surprised about our run defense. I was not. The Titans were number 2 against the run last year. And I think they have a chance to climb right back up into that rank this year. And holding the so-called best running back in the league to 42 yards rushing on 20 carries is a pretty good start. Isaiah says, Terrence Mitchell got to go. I agree. Reggie says, Farley is basically a redshirt rookie. This is basically his rookie year. Isaiah said he's trash. Terrence Mitchell, yeah, he's trash. I would rather go with Caleb Farley than go with Terrence Mitchell. Terrence Mitchell stinks. Amy, what's up? Tighten up. I appreciate the ladies being here tonight. Definitely. So make sure y'all pass this out to more of the ladies that are out there, so that they too can tune in and everything. And I know I'm going to try to get some more out here too. MHVACR is in the building. Mark Sumter's in the building. Have you seen the other running backs in the league showing out? That's the perfect plan. Just run Henry down their throats, and our second half might look amazing. But you got to remember, everybody and their mama knows Derrick Henry's getting the ball, and they're going to try to take that away. You know, everybody knows Derrick Henry getting the ball. You know, true enough, they still got to stop it, but everybody knows Derrick Henry's getting the ball. Everybody know that. Even I know that. You know, I definitely know it. You definitely know it. So, now Ms. Mills asked about guys in the preseason game. Ms. Mills, the thing about that is most of those guys were backups. They were not playing a lot of starters. They did play quite a few of the defensive starters in the preseason, but on the offensive side, they didn't play no starters. The only real starters that played were Nicholas Petit-Frere and maybe Aaron Brewer. Other than that, Derrick Henry didn't play in the preseason. Tannehill didn't play in the season. In the preseason, Robert Woods didn't play much. And a lot of the starters are not going to play in the preseason. And that's just kind of how it usually goes with the preseason. A lot of those starters are not going to play in those particular type of games. So, you know, you're trying to save them for the regular season. You're trying to save them for this time. So that's why a lot of those guys did that. So let's see. Is there a play or formation you would like to add or bring back? I mean, I would like to see, well, if we had the right amount of depth, I'd like to see some 3 wide receiver sets. Would definitely like to see, you know, Chigakonkwo maybe lined up, split out a little bit, especially in the red zone. Kind of have him one-on-one with the corner, kind of throw a fade route up to him, or have him come in, go out, come back in for a a touchdown maybe in the red zone. Kind of have him as a matchup problem in the red zone. Use Austin Hooper more, which is something that I do not understand for the life of me why they don't use Austin Hooper at all. As far as, you know, I don't know why they don't use Austin Hooper more. I'm very confused about that. So I would say some 3 tight end formation. Some 3 wide receiver formation. Or you can have 2 wide receivers. You have maybe Hooper in at tight end. Have Chig maybe in the slot. You know, kind of have him up against either a linebacker or a safety, a matchup that he can have an advantage of. That's something that I would probably see. Vibes, I like that Anthony Fasano type play. I agree. I definitely agree with that. Ty Fox agree with me saying don't play press coverage enough. And I'm with that. And there it is. I agree with that too. I would rather have Farley getting reps on the field than Mitchell, you know, getting completely destroyed, because that's what's happened. So, you know, there, and Mark something saying more Chig. I definitely would like that too. We have to put pressure on Wentz. I definitely agree with that. Opposing quarterback get excited when they see 39 on the field. Well, according to the Jared Stillmans and the Buck Risings of the world, they get excited when they see 3 on the field too. But I would rather take my chances with 3 on the field than 39 on the field. And Dion said, yeah, because Hooper's a good blocker. Yeah, that's what they said about Jeff Swain, why he's getting so many snaps. I'm surprised they haven't used NWI more. They're so infatuated with NWI and with Jeff Swain, I don't really know why they don't do that. But yeah, let's keep moving, keep pushing on. Who is your two-tone blue star of the game? Who did their job? Who shined when they needed to? I mean, I think there's probably a couple of obvious choices out there, but I want to get y'all thoughts. Who is your two-tone blue star of the game? Was it Derrick Henry with his 114 yards and a touchdown? Was it Teair Tart with the big boy interception? Was it Danico Autry getting 2 sacks and causing fumbles? You know, Rashard Weaver got a sack and caused a fumble as well. And so I want to see what y'all are thinking. I know some people said Henry earlier. Shay says Henry or Danico Autry. I need one. Give me one. Baldy Bearded says Tart. Landon says, I personally love me some Autry. Got to give it to him. Yeah, Isaiah said they love Cody Hollister too. I know. Let's see. Garrett's going with Autry. I think Mark Sumter going with Autry. Reggie Smith going with Autry. David Law did nearly have a pick. It's been saying Derrick Henry or Teair Tart. Jacqueline going with Autry. Let's see. Quentin Pender says Henry, but honorable mention to Dennis Daly. He's putting in some work. Let's see. Vaughn Brother says offensive line. And I mean, that's very interesting on that. Mick goes with Teair Tart. It's been going with Henry. Shane going with Autry. CJ going with Woods. Okay. Vaughn says the gotta be one, it's gotta be Henry. Titan Fox coming in with Dylan Cole. Stepped up like he wants to be a starter. So B-boy, that kid too cool goes with Henry. And as much as I would love to give it to the Beast King, I'm gonna say the two-tone blue star of the game has got to be Danico Autry, because him and that defense came up with some big plays when they needed to, in to salt the game away. Had 2 big sacks, caused a fumble on the first drive, and then which turned into points, and then caused another fumble, got another sack as well when they really needed to in the big time. So definitely shout out to Danico Autry. My honorable mention, Derrick Henry and Teair Tart, because again, that was a big boy play by Teair Tart. But you know, when we have a star of the game, you also have a dunce of the day. So here we go. Who didn't do so well in the game? Who are your dunces of the day? And I see we have over 30 people tuning in. Keep it up. Keep the views coming. Everybody, if you're coming in, make sure you hit that like button, please. Everybody, if you're watching the show, everybody, please smash that like button if you could. Mark Jones says Stonehouse. Yeah, Stonehouse is kicking the crap out of that ball, without a doubt. Mark Sumter had mentioned Nate Davis as a star. I have to definitely, I will definitely say that the offensive line is somewhat improving. I will definitely have to say that. I think the offensive line is improving. Doug says, yay, Danico wins. Yeah, he does win. But for dunce, Ms. Mim says Downing. D09 says Tannehill. Reggie says Dunces Mitchell. Balder Beard, Dunces Mitchell. Power Hour going with Jim Irsay. Yeah, because he did try to fire up the Colts Nation, basically saying he's getting tired of getting his butt kicked by the Titans, but it's still there. AZ Mick going with Mitchell. Shane says Vrabel. Got to know how to make second half adjustments. He's been head coach for a while. We can't keep taking the foot off the gas in the second half. Titan Fox says Downing. Baltimore says should take Mitch out the pasture. Landon says Vrabel and his arrogance is going to kill us one day. He's the dunce. Mark Jones says the refs. I like that from Reggie. He said, Jacqueline and I both picked Danico. That means we go together. Hey, we might have a love connection here, y'all. We might have it. Let's see. Mark says, dunce go to time management. Folks falling all over each other. Jacqueline says, Dennis Daly, the dunce. I'm not going to go against Dennis Daly because the offensive line did pretty well. Second half, Vrabel, Ursay. So, yeah, I think it's honest. The dunce of the day, I think, has to go to Mike Vrabel. It has to go to Mike Vrabel. Because I just think that, the second half, yes, we can all blame Downing. We could definitely blame Downing as much as possible, and we should. Not saying we shouldn't, because, Downing is definitely a problem. But I would also say that, Vrabel is, over him. So you definitely got to put Vrabel at the top of the list because, one, he did that those 19 seconds from the first half on was bad. And it was bad. And, he didn't help Todd Downing adjust. He's supposed to be the head coach. And let's see, I'm actually going to see if I can bring up Vrabel's presser. Let me see if I get it.
The National Football League. The game 24-17. Excited as hell about it.
But you had to withstand a big comeback from them.
The National Football League. Excited to win on the road. In the division.
How about Mike?
The game 24-17.
I mean, you hear that from Vrabel. He basically just disrespected TD and shrugged him off like, hey, we won. I mean, why should it matter that we sucked in the second half? Why should we make it so that we sucked in the second half? I mean, I didn't get that at all. According to Wesley Woodyard, Vrabel's arrogance did kill us in the AFC Championship. Did it? I'm pretty sure. I probably wouldn't go against. That. Bar Jones says Burks gets the dust for not going down when he hurt his toe. I mean, he was trying to play through it. Obviously, he was hurt. He should have went out of the game. I'm not finna get mad at Burks because of that. I hate he got hurt. And I know a lot of people say, well, what about Tannehill? Tannehill wasn't terrible. I mean, yeah, he only threw for 137 yards, but you got to remember, excuse me, a lot of those times we had short fields thanks to the defense. We had short fields to work with, and that's why he didn't have to throw for much because he had short fields to go with. Mark, something like, what boneheaded plays did Burks make? I mean, that holding call that they called on him was an absolutely ridiculous call. That should not have been called. That was not holding. Derrick Henry should have scored. And Vrabel being arrogant, you're damn right, is a shut your pie hole moment. And you know what? I didn't do one before. So I probably should have did that. So, definitely, I like that. So I appreciate that. So Mike Vrabel, dunce of the day, absolutely, no doubt about it. So again, y'all come with me with your pick my brain because we kind of already went into it. Some. Let's go ahead and get into the Washington Commanders. Let's get into this team, and because they're the next opponent. Tried to watch a couple of their games. I watched their loss to the Dallas Cowboys. I also watched their victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars earlier this year. And I mean, the Commanders are 1-3. And they're coming into this game. They could be missing some definite pieces on. They're definitely going to be missing their star pass rusher. Chase Young will not be available enough to play in this game. There's an issue. One of their offensive linemen might not be available. There's Sam Cosmi. Jahan Dotson is dealing with a hamstring. He is questionable, could be doubtful for this game as well. So, Curtis Samuel was dealing with an illness, but I'm pretty sure he'll be back for that and everything. But the Commanders are a team that you cannot underestimate. You can't underestimate them because this team, they still got some players on this team. On offense, you still got Carson Wentz, even though he really sucks. Antonio Gibson from my alma mater, the University of Memphis, that guy is a legit weapon in both the running and passing game. I've seen him for years here in Memphis. He used to be a receiver. They converted him to running back. He was a receiver. He could play running back. I don't think they use him on special teams anymore. But he could do it all. And they have J.D. McKissick, and then they also got Jonathan Williams. So they got 3 running backs they could use at any time. Also, Curtis Samuel sometimes is like a Debo, like a poor man's version of Debo Samuel. He's sneaky fast in the slot. He also can run the ball as well out of the backfield, so you got to be careful of that. Terry McLaurin, their speedy wide receiver who just got paid. You got to be careful of him. And then, of course, the aforementioned Jahan Dotson, if he does play. They do have some weapons at wide receiver. On the defensive side of the ball, they're, again, most of their damage is done up front. Their front 4 is major good. Their front 4 is fantastic. With Deron Payne, with Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen. Of course, if some of y'all remember my draft show when we picked Big Jeff, I was living in Nashville back in 2018. I was banging the table for Montez Sweat. I wanted Montez Sweat in the draft. If some of y'all remember that show or remember our draft party when it was the Nashville Urban Winery up there, it's not named that anymore. But when we were there, all I kept saying was, all right, J-Rob, sweat. That's all I kept saying because I'm like, draft Montez Sweat. And we went with Big Jeff, and, well, that ended up being a good pick. But in the draft that Corey Davis and Adoree Jackson were picked, in that second pick, I wanted Jonathan Allen. Really bad. I did. I wanted Jonathan Allen so bad. It was either Allen or it was either It was either Jonathan Allen or OJ Howard was what I wanted. That was who I wanted. Wanted OJ Howard more than I wanted Jonathan Allen more than anything. And that was the draft, of course. We could have had Jamal Adams or Mike Williams, and we went with Corey Davis. And then we go with, Adoree Jackson, even though Washington picked Jonathan Allen right before us. And we could have had OJ Howard, but instead we picked, or we could have had Tre'Davious White, and we picked Adoree. We possibly could have had TJ Watt, but we didn't go that route. But again, Jonathan Allen, big time problem. Definitely a big time problem. And so that leads us to our Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. 2019, it was in Nashville. 18, it was in Dallas, I want to say. 17 was in Philly. Let's see. Derrick Henry running pissed off, 150 yards, 2 TDs in this game. Payne is awesome. Marcel said Dotson not playing. Well, we don't know that yet. We don't know that yet. It's been a couple of years since we played Washington last. I believe it was, I cannot remember the exact date. I want to say it was Marcus's last year with the team. So I want to say it might have been 2018 was the last time. 2018 or 2019 was the last time we played Washington. And that was in Nashville. And that was the one where Josh Johnson played quarterback and nearly led a comeback. And Malcolm Butler had that pick six at the end of the game. So here are my Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. Number 1, make Wentz beat you. And what I say with that is, number 1, shut down the running game. Again, like I said earlier, they got 3 decent backs: McKissick, Williams, and Antonio Gibson. And they don't mind using Curtis Samuel out of the backfield either. You got to take care of those guys first. And then, once that's done, you get after Wentz. You get after Wentz, force some turnovers, because he's going to throw you a couple. He's going to throw you a couple. He's going to throw you a couple of turnovers. We got to take advantage of that. Number 2, and this is something for both sides of the ball. Win the trenches on both sides of the ball. Not just offense, but defense as well. On the defensive side, to get after Wentz, you got to win in the trenches. You got to win in the trenches. Big Jeff, Danico Autry, get after Wentz. Against the Eagles, they sacked him 9 times. And I think Wentz got sacked a couple more times against Dallas. So, win in the trenches. Offensively, you are going to have to take care of that defensive line because that is their strength. Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat. That front 4 is very good. Very good. I can honestly say that. That front 4 is very, very good. So you got to block that defensive line. So win in the trenches. Like I said, I see we might have a little love connection here. Oh boy. So again, win in the trenches on both sides, make Wentz beat you. Number 3, go into attack mode early, and you got to stay aggressive. You cannot let up. You attack, you be aggressive, you get after Wentz, you go after them, and you jump on them early. And I know I have a good friend who is probably you can you got to be able to get on them early, because if you don't, they can get you. They can definitely get you. So you need to jump on them early, get on them often, and put them behind the 8 ball ahead of time. And last but not least, for the love of God, play 2 halves of football, not just one. Play 2 halves of ball. Not just one. You got to be able to play 2 halves. The Titans have got to remember that there are 2 halves of football, not one, because they've let their foot off the gas too many times. This Washington team will sneak up on you if you don't get your act together. So they better, again, make Wentz beat you, control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, because you better stop Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen, because they're good. You got to stay aggressive and attack and play 2 halves of ball, not just one. If you do that, we're going to win this game. Plain and simple. There are 2 halves. So definitely do those things, and we'll have a good time, and we will have a good game. And I know there's some people that's probably going to go watch 615 right now. Chris Diller, what's up with you, sir? I know I haven't been by Chick-fil-A in a minute. Let's see. Win field position. That's true. Wentz can't beat us. Hey, I'm not going to say that, because we got to be careful. Yep, if he hears ghost, we can cause some turnovers. That much is true. Don't play down to the level of competition. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Dad, great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. We can't take them lightly. That's true. So, let's see. Somebody said, how is Washington against the run? Let me see if I can bring up some stats. I can see where Washington ranks offensively and defensively. So I'm looking on ESPN right now. Let's see. Let's see. The Commanders are 23rd defensively in yards. They are let's see. They're middle of the pack against the run. They give up about 119. They give up about 112 yards a game. So that is, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12. They're 16th against the run. They're 16th against the run. And against the pass, they're 24th against the pass defensively, which they're kind of better than us in those particular categories, especially against the pass. Against the run, the Titans are moving up the boards. They're moving up a bit. So, there could be some advantages there that we have to take advantage of. So that's what I would say about that. Ranks don't matter. That is true. Paulie D, what's going on? But those are the best ways they can beat this team. And now, time for the moment of truth. Who wins? Commanders or Titans? And I think I'm going to save the drama. Titans win 24-13. I'm probably going to be sticking on 24 quite a bit this season because that seems to be the number that they're stuck on a lot. They scored 20 against the Giants. They only scored 7 against the Bills, but that's an outlier. 24 against the Raiders, 24 against the Colts. So I think I'm going to stick with 24-13. Titans win. And they make it 3 in a row going into the bye week. Chris Dillon said, I hope they learn from the Giants game. Me too. Mark says 3 in a row. And of course, our official Titans hater, our official Titans troll, Kent Woods is going to come with this asinine comment saying the Commanders are going to win. Of course, because he goes from loving the Titans, now he hates the Titans. And I'm like this. I will give this to him. He is a Titan hater, and he's going all in on it. But Kent, you're going to be sadly disappointed, sir. I know you want the Titans to lose every game now, but it ain't going to happen this Sunday. So sorry for you, sir. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. I had a little technical difficulty for a second. But I see a lot of people are saying, Titans will win, can't play to the level of the opponent. I agree with that. Titans for the win. It's not going to be easy. They're desperate for a win. That's true. Winning is contagious. That can be. Miss Mims is definitely mad with Kent, saying, traitor. Hey, there were times I said the same thing. I told him, I said it hurt my heart. I'm like, it hurt my heart that way. I'm like, and I mean, I get it. He was saying, he's tired of some of the messed up decisions that they made, and I get it. I'm still mad with what they did to Steve McNair years ago, but I didn't turn my back on the team. Despite that, if you are a fan, you are a fan of the team through and through, no matter how messed up they look. I mean, Bills Mafia has suffered for years, but a lot of those fans have stayed loyal to that team. Same with the Browns. The Browns stunk for decades, but that dog pound is still loud. Kobe to 16, so 24. Reggie says, I predict a defensive touchdown in this game. Titans should put up more than 24. I agree. AZ Mix says 31-14. Well, Miss Mims, he ain't with us anymore. He's our official Titans hater. He's our Titans troll. So, we get to make fun of him a little bit when we win. So we won 2 in a row. Ken ain't happy about it, and we don't care. So before we close out the show tonight, yeah, definitely want to give a shut your pie hole moment. One to Mr. Kent Woods. Definitely still a friend, even though he stabbed us all in the back, betrayed us. But we won 2 in a row, Kent. You ain't got nothing to say, do you, sir? Shut your pie hole, good sir. We winning. So please keep hating on us. And we go keep winning. And to Mike Vrabel, who just shrugged off, TD, shut your pie hole and coach better in the second half. And one other shut your pie hole that I want to mention. Now, first off, I'm going to give my congratulations to Aaron Judge for breaking the American League home run record of 62. Kid, we still cool. So congratulations to Aaron Judge for hitting number 62, breaking the American League home run record. But to everybody who keeps saying, oh, well, he's the real home run king, he really broke the record, the major league record, shut your pie hole. As of right now, baseball hasn't taken it away from Barry Bonds or from Mark McGwire or Sammy Sosa. Barry Bonds has the all-time major league record with not only 73 home runs in a year, in a season, he also has the most home runs ever. 762. That is the record, and that's what it is. I understand there are steroids. But there were probably a bunch of guys that were on steroids. A lot of them were on steroids at the time. I know they've changed that now. And Naeem Hines talking about the quarterback situation. Yeah, he needs to shut his pie hole too. Talking about, well, we have to keep changing quarterbacks every year. And the Titans, they have a stable quarterback. I'm like, well, you need to take that up with your coach. You weren't saying nothing then when y'all had it, like y'all been saying. Y'all weren't saying nothing when y'all had Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning all them years. Had kept getting lucky. So Naeem Hines, you too, shut your pie hole. And everybody, with that being said, I think it's time for me to say good night. I want to thank everybody for tuning into the show. Definitely get ready. I'm going to be doing my NFL Week 5 picks coming up this weekend. So stay tuned for that. And, of course, I'll be back at El Toro Loco this coming Sunday with the Titans Fan Club of Memphis as the Titans get ready to go to war against the Washington Commanders and definitely try to get this win and get to 5. I'll get to 3-2 and get to 3-2 on the year. And I'm trying to see. I want to make sure that this coverage map finally gets correct. That they actually show our game like they should. So I bid thee adieu. I bid thee good night, everybody. Thank everybody for tuning into the show. Let's see. Orange. And it does look like we will get the Titans Commanders game on television. I believe this is on CBS. So it'll be on CBS. Let's see. Yeah, we'll be on CBS for this game. So definitely glad of that. So CBS, 12 o'clock noon, Titans, Commanders. We get ready to go. So everybody, thank y'all for tuning into the show. I appreciate each and every one of you. And let's get ready to put the Commanders in the mud. Crystal Hayward, you still my home girl. Good night, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, and let's tighten up because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.